Alright, today we are combining the Limitless mod with a War Machine Maya. So, once again, War Machine is an overhaul mod that likes to drastically change how things work, or at least add a bunch of extra effects to stuff. Like this Fire Nova Shield right here is a great example. That's a big old bunch of text that says some cool stuff and is kind of interesting. It turns fire impact damage into healing, which is super cool. We have a Banshee class mod, which is actually pretty tame for this mod. Some of the class mods just are insanity to read, but this one was actually pretty chill. And then, like, yeah, some things are just slightly tuned, some things are greatly tuned. Character skill trees are completely overhauled to be entirely new as well. Maya has a passive where she can heal teammates by shooting them, and Iridium will further enhance the healing ability. Converts up to 10% of weapon damage dealt into healing for your friends. Yeah, it says the same thing twice. Don't worry about it. And additionally, melees release a disruptive energy, damaging all enemies within a 600 unit radius around you. So we can just do AoE melees with the character because, like, why not? Just, it'd be funny. And then the Limitless mod just takes 5 out of 5 point skills, makes them 100 point skills, and gives you 10 skill points per level up so that you can actually spec into those skills. So that, paired with War Machine's custom skill tree, is going to be pretty dumb. Starting in left tree, we have Mind's Eye. It gives a bunch of extra crit. While Phase Lock is active, critical hit damage effectiveness is improved by 25%. So that's like 400% more crit damage, up to 500% during Phase Lock. Accelerate. While Phase Lock is active, this effectiveness is improved by 50%, so 300% bullet damage, 450% while Phase Lock is active. Fleet is 500% movement speed, an extra 20% on top of that, so like 600% during Phase Lock. Subsequence is right here. Wreck, it's Wreck, kind of, but like with a chance to ricochet and also gives movement speed. Okay, so that's pretty funny. Focus fire, dealing critical damage, adds 1 round directly into your gun from your reserve and has a 15% chance to reflect the bullet towards a nearby enemy. However, snipers and rocket launchers do not have the former effect. Okay, well there you go. Still, that's pretty cool. Additionally, critical hit damage has a 25% chance to electrocute the target, dealing 100% of your weapon damage as status effect damage, with a 0.25 second cooldown. Okay. Kinetic reflection. It's basically kinetic reflection, but also a chain reaction built in. Converge is converge. This deals damage to affected enemies based on your current health, though. So it deals 4 times our health as damage to enemies. So if we have a health buffing skill, we could just zap dudes with this really, really easily. Blight Phoenix is Blight Phoenix. It also gives max health, so that's kind of nice. Quicken increases duration of Phase Lock and your kill skills. While Phase Lock is active, your ally kill skill duration is increased based on the equal ratio of your kill skill duration bonuses. Oh, so it also gives kill skill duration to teammates. Got it. Echo, faster your movement speed, the more damage you deal. So that's going to be a lot. Might of Chronos. This, upon activating Phase Lock, can now slow down the time flows around you, impeding enemies' offense while empowering your team. So enemy movement speed and fire rate, reload, and bullet speed are down. Team movement speed, fire rate, and bullet speed are up. Ward, whenever you Phase Lock an enemy, you temporarily get 3% extra shield capacity. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can keep this going. I'm assuming that, like, subsequence chains will stack this effect temporarily. Leverage, while Phase Lock remains unactivated after it's off cooldown, so while you have the skill but not using it, get increased shield capacity, recharge rate, minus recharge delay, and extra movement speed and jump height. Sweet Release is Sweet Release. Sustenance is Sustenance but also gives max health. Scorn is Melee Override. Press mouse wheel up, that's what I have it bound to harness your ability and unleash a black hole in front of you. Upon impact, a devastating sequence of effects is triggered. Initial Implosion deals 3% of your current max health as corrosive damage to all enemies within a 300 unit radius. Secondary Explosion instantly detonates, inflicting fire damage equal to 2.5 times your max shield. And then energy release emits a final surge that shocks nearby enemies. So that's kind of just strong and fun as an ability casting character. It makes Maya a little more element and ability focused. Emergency circumstance. While you have an enemy phase locked, you drain your shield energy to empower yourself and heal your friends. So shield drain, 90% of max shield on activation. Ally player regen, 0.8% of max health per second. And then score and cooldown rate of 4% per level. So that'll probably be like 400% score and cooldown. Energy condensation, damaging an enemy while having an enemy phase locked or your action skill on cooldown will grant you a stack of agony. However, you will become more vulnerable with each stack gain. Any damage from Blight Phoenix can also activate the skill. Okay, so like, I'm assuming that I just deal more damage, but also take more damage, I think. Adrenaline, kill skill. Killing an enemy causes you to steal health from enemies for a short time. Res is res. And then Power of the Cosmos. Phase Lock now charms your enemy. Okay, so this is Thought Lock, but it improves Phase Lock duration by 400%. Furthermore, charmed targets receive 15% more damage from all sources. Ah, okay. So that's kind of nice if they're isolated, I guess. Flicker increases elemental effect chance while Phase Lock is active, improves by 100%. Helios, it's Helios. Foresight gives weapon dot damage and grenade dot damage. Okay. Immolate, enhance your bullets with the power of the Phoenix, granting bullets shot fired. Okay, so this gives extra fire damage to all shots fired. Furthermore, improves fire weapon power. Okay, so cool. Discharge reaction increases elemental impact damage and status effect damage for fire, shock, corrosive, and slag. Further improves shock. Null Nova status effect damage will trigger an explosion around your target with an area of 500 units, dealing 5 times your weapon's damage. Your status effect damage will also trigger a Slag Nova, damaging enemies within 1,000 unit around you. Okay. Iridium Sanction. Iridium can now be utilized by your Siren power. Each Iridium unspent in your inventory will give you different bonuses. Up to 40% status effect chance, up to 100% status effect damage, 200% status effect chance for grenades, and 200% for damage for grenades as well. Cloud Kill is Cloud Kill, but requires elemental proc, and it has a cooldown of 0.2 seconds. Reaper is Reaper, but for enemies with more than 65% of health remaining. I'm assuming more points will lower that. Powerhouse, while Phase Lock is active, your Maliwan weapons are overcharged. And then Ruin is Ruin. Okay, so this is a lot. This is so much to read. I kind of want to do ability stuff, but I feel like if I wait until OP10, because we're going to do OP10 stuff, we will be able to just zap dudes, I'm assuming, with the class mods and stuff that come with this mod. So let's just keep it nice and simple for right now. Let's just get like our damage up. Let's just stack damage and crit. Not think too hard about it. Okay, so for our initial spec for a level 30 boosted character that's going to fight a level 50 Terra, actually I guess it'll be like level 38 in this mod, we have 300% more bullet damage, 400% more crit, Subsequence is maxed out, Focus Fire for the ammo back on crit, Kinetic Reflection for 100% deflect chance, 1 point rec for the 100% guaranteed chain reaction, Converge because why not, Blight Phoenix because why not, 1 point in Echo to get the movement speed damage buff, Quicken because why not, I guess, Might of Chronos because why not, and then I got a bunch of points into Immolate so that we can deal fire damage with all shots fired, which will trigger Null Nova to cause an AoE on enemies that take a status effect, which will also do a Slag AoE as well, which should further help us with Immolate damage. And then Cloud Kill, because why not, Iridium Sanction, because why not, and then Ruin. This is a lot. I'm just gonna go shoot dudes for a second and just forget about my worries. Okay, so shooting a man, we should see them catch on fire and then pop for a Nova. Oh. Oh, we emit the Nova. I see. Also, yeah, no, we're kind of dumb already. Got it. How is Blight Phoenix? Oh wait, is Blight Phoenix permanently on? I guess it is. Huh. Phase lock? That's pretty strong. War Machine is really cool just as a normal playthrough, but like it can be really overwhelming to look at initially. There's just so much stuff. There's so much reading up front if you want to learn everything. Of course, you don't have to. You could just only read the first 2 or 3 skills and then just kind of just figure it out as you go, because it can be that overwhelming that like kind of just do that instead. But oh my goodness, it's a lot. It's a lot. Hello, Jack. Hello, warrior. Alright, cool. Now we wait. Okay. There we go. Well, let's go ahead and get a little bit of XP. Do I even need to get XP? I might be able to just go face check the boss. You know what? Yeah, let's just check what loot we get here and then just go fight Terra. Maybe. That's a leech. Hold on, the leech is kind of funny in this mod. Yeah, it spawns a lot of doodads. Okay. We might try that out. Hello, Terra. Come here. I gotta give you a hug. Ow. Alright, now I have to hide for a little bit until we can actually get some tentacles out. Hold it down. There we go. Okay, cool. Yep, so now we get to load up an OP10 character and look at some ridiculous... That's how many points for Quicken? We get to look at some ridiculous things. Yeah, let me just go do that. Okay, so on our level 80 OP10 character, first off, we have 800 skill points to spend on whatever we want, which is kind of daunting. We can also wear a Rough Rider to deal extra damage with our Scorn and other goofy health abilities. And then we have a lot of class mods to look at. The Doctress. Melee cooldown rate, so Scorn Ball spam. Deal of the Devil, you receive 50% more damage, but we get plus to Sustenance for a bunch of max health, plus to Scorn to make Scorn deal more damage, plus to Adrenaline for lifesteal, plus to Flicker for elemental effect chance, and plus to Kinetic Reflection for a way higher deflect chance on bullets shot at us. So that'll be really good for Scorn Ball stuff. The Godfall class mod, effect chance, status effect damage, fire rate, gun damage, Molly-1 effect damage, and then plus to Flicker, Immolate, Discharge Reaction, Null Nova, and Powerhouse. This is just a ton of elemental effect stuff. If we want to roll that, we could. Terra's combo pack, mag size, burn damage, electric damage, corrosive, and slag damage, plus to max health. Level 10 Quicken, overclocking your kill skill abilities, allowing them to stay up permanently. Your team kill skills will only get normal bonuses though. So Maya can permanently have kill skills active, so Rec could be up forever, Life Tap could be up forever, Foresight could be up forever. That's actually kind of absurd. It's kind of cool. I guess we don't really have that many kill skills, but like still, that's nice. Plus to Accelerate, Mind's Eye, Blight Phoenix, and Quicken. And then pluses to Flicker and Powerhouse. So nice little bit of gun damage and Blight Phoenix stuff. So we could just do Group Hug with that. Maybe we'll try to Group Hug some dudes. Legendary Siren gives gun damage, shield capacity, team cooldown rate. Phase-locked or charmed enemies trigger bullet hell. Your team gains 20% bullet deflection and dot immunity. Deflected bullet damage deal minor damage to your team. Okay. Enemies gain 35% bullet deflection and take 50% extra damage from your reflected shots. Best used for bouncing bullets off of them. Okay. So this is just funny little chain reaction spam build type stuff there. We could try that out, but I don't know what we'll really reflect on. Most of the enemies we're going to shoot are just going to kind of go away. Legendary Binder, melee damage, movement speed, nade capacity, and minus gun damage. 1/9 of melee damage bonuses on this class mod is added to grenade status effect damage. So this improves grenade status effect damage by a ton and would actually be pretty funny for a nade melee build. It gives plus to Blade Phoenix, which is nice. It gives plus to Sustenance, which is nice, Helios, and Null Nova. So throw nades, punch dudes type of stuff. And that's pretty much it. We have a lot of stuff to get through. It's overwhelming. It truly is overwhelming. Let's start with ability spam, because we want to use Scorn, I want to use Converge, I want to use Kinetic Reflection, all the stuff. Okay, so we have on a Doctress, a Rough Rider, and a Blood of the Ancients. We have 12 million health, and our Scorn balls are going to deal 3 times that as the initial implosion. The second explosion that it does is going to do nothing because I have on a Rough Rider. I guess I could throw on an evolution. Okay, so a purple shield is about our only other option because the Neo actually replaces your class mod, and then the evolution replaces your relic. And neither of them really give, well, I mean, the Neo gives max health, but like we need our class mod to do the stuff that we want to do. And then like, yeah, the blood is just better. So we just have to run a purple to be able to get the shield damage alongside the health damage. This is dumb. This is really dumb. It should equate to like just dunking on dudes though, so hold on. I'm gonna go to Bloodshot for once. We're gonna do mobbing in one of these instead of just doing like raiding. Oh right, this mod also puts wisp jars in here, and then like you can buy iridium. You can also temporarily increase your max health and shield, and those are stackable, so you could just stack that. It sells candies too. I forgot about the absurdity. Alright, well that man's dead. That man's also dead. I didn't even touch him. Oh, it's just Blade Phoenix, isn't it? Yeah, it's just Blade Phoenix. Okay. Group hug. Alright, well, let's just go say hi to Terra then, I guess. Alright, Terra. I'm ready, I guess. I assume you're probably just gonna drop, right? My pistol does more. My pistol does more than my magic build does. Alright, maybe that's just more for mobbing. Let's put on a binder, and then let's put on the electric chair. So theoretically, this plus this should equal insane grenade dots. Theoretically. Alright, by sheer presence alone. By a little bit of electric chair. Okay, that's not that bad. I think that we actually deal more damage than... Yeah, we just... If we shoot a guy, they just go away. So, the grenade stuff works. The Scorn Ball stuff works. But I think that just stacking a bunch of damage works the most. Turns out. Crazy idea there. But, yeah, that seems pretty good. Alright, let's just zap dragons real quick. Yep. Yep, that seems about right. Okay. Cool, sure. Alright, let's put on that Godfall and just, I don't know, delete the guy. It's not gonna matter. Hold on, let me just put on a Shock Pimp. Cause like... Okay, my projectile speed might be a little high. My health bar is also getting kind of big. Oh. Oh. Okay. Also, it's a bit late into this, but I did realize that I had to spec skill points into energy condensation to understand what this does. But basically, damaging an enemy will, while having an enemy phase locked or your action skill is on cooldown, grant you a stack of agony, which gives you 12.5% health per stack. So this thing plus a high fire rate equals the damage. So that's what we needed to do the damage. Yeah. So that's what we needed for all that stuff. So like Chopper, for example, would do that. Alright. So, with this in mind, that's a level 50 Chopper. That's a level 50 Chopper. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hold on, wait. What? Okay, wait, hold on, go. I might need a different raid boss to test on. I think that Hyperius might just be squishy. Alright, I dropped down the level of our guns that we're going to be using for this. Alright, we've got a lot of extra damage. Alright, I missed. Converge? Converge also didn't do anything. Look at that max health, though. Yeah, that's still not doing a lot of damage. Well. Oh well. It is what it is. Alright. Well, there we go. What have we learned today? I get overwhelmed by text very easily. That's what I've learned today. Also, the mod developer's native language is not English, so some typos might occur, and that might make it a little bit harder to read sometimes, but it is what it is. It's just a really fun mod still. Like, I don't care. The War Machine is one of my favorite mods. It's very dense. It's like if you wanted to play Fight for Your Life lands but not get bullied, you could play this instead. Realistically is how I feel about this mod. So, like, yeah, overall, very fun. Surprised that some of the stuff didn't do more at OP10, and not surprised that some of the stuff did really well at OP10. That's it.